Hey, it's Podix here. Today we'll be doing What If Naruto was on Team 10. I'm not sure what part this is. This is part 3. Please leave a like and comment down below. I'll respond to all the comments. And while you're down there, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button. When this video hits 5 comments from 5 different accounts and 10 likes, I'll drop the next part. Let's get into it. Roll the intro.
Say they wanna hit, I give 'em dozen demons on my chest, I gotta get 'em all. They don't wanna ball, but you not even in a ball. When it's light out, you be talking when you want know when it's dark.
Okay, seeing a rookie that hadn't even had a day on the job make solid clone was an eye-opener for Tenten. But this was ridiculous. She was surrounded on all sides by Naruto clones that were giving her a wide berth to avoid the staff, but it was only a matter of time before he sent them in. She knew this. It was only logical. Tenten quickly pulled out 2 scrolls and set them on the ground while making a short set of hand seals. Go! Naruto shouted, ordering the Kage Bunshin to put Tenten down hard. Twin rising dragons. Tenten's scrolls unraveled upwards in a swirling pattern of smoke as she jumped between them and began unsealing weapons from the scrolls surrounding her. She then proceeded to mercilessly bombard Naruto's horde of copies with every single weapon she had amassed inside of her scrolls. Not just the standard fare of kunai and shuriken. Tenten pelted the 4 clones with Foma shurikens, mace, sickles, senbon, katanas. She even threw a few broadswords, and everything she threw at him hit. Nothing she flung at the Kage Bencher missed its mark. All of them forgot about attacking and simply focused on surviving. But there was nowhere to go. They were in the middle of a clearing, the closest cover was 60 yards away, and Tenten wasn't taking prisoners. In a matter of moments, Tenten had cleared the field of every single image of Naruto she had been aiming at. She landed back on the ground, and her skulls went slackless. The field was covered in the leftover smoke from all of the clones. Tenten grimaced at her handiwork. She knew she didn't miss a single one. They were far too slow for her to miss on her worst day. She looked around for the real Naruto. She hoped she didn't injure him too badly with all of that. She might have gone a little overboard. Kid, are you still alive? Say something. She began walking and looking about the field that was hazy from all of the Kagebunshin smoke that was steadily dispersing. The area finally cleared up and Tenten couldn't see Naruto anywhere. There was no blood or anything either, signifying if he ran away or not. A poof sound directed her attention behind her, where all she saw upon turning was a flash of yellow and orange before a fist closed in on her face. Dynamic entry! A green blur came from out of nowhere and plowed a flying kick into the side of Naruto's face, sending him flying from his surprise attack on Tenten and sent him sliding through the amassed weapons from Tenten's jutsu. The blur turned out to be a boy their age in a green bodysuit, orange leg warmers bandaged around his hands, and a red headband around his waist as a belt. He had a black bowl cut hairstyle and large eyebrows over round black eyes. He stood protectively in front of Tenten in a fighting stance. I cannot allow you to harm my teammate Tenten. Such an underhanded attack on my youthful female comrade. Lee? Lee? Tenten said questionably as she saw Naruto struggling and failing to pick himself up off the ground. Her mood turned from confusion to annoyance. Lee, that was what he was supposed to do. We were sparring. He was supposed to try and hit me, idiot. The boy who now identified as Lee stood up out of his stance and looked at Tenten in a puzzled manner before his face turned apologetic. Ah, I'm sorry, Tenten. I simply saw him appear and attack you from behind, and I just acted. I apologize. Tenten shook her head. Whatever. I'm not the one you need to apologize to. I'm not the one that got blindside kicked and shot and knocked senseless. She turned her head towards Naruto, who had finally pulled himself into a sitting position. Naruto sat on the ground, rubbing his face and clearing the mass amount of weapons around him so that he didn't get cut or stabbed by anything. What the hell hit me? 1 second he was close to nailing that Tenten chip right in the chin. He could see the fear in her eyes, and he was over here 40 feet away and feeling like chewing would be a pipe dream in the near future. He stood. He stopped thinking when he saw the object of his last attack kneel down in front of him with an apologetic look on his face. I'm sorry about that. My hot-headed teammate on her face. I'm sorry about that. My hot-headed teammate jumped the shark and interrupted the fight. Naruto looked at her eyes, exuding remorse for his appearance. He stabbed at his face with his hand and pulled it away. When he was hit, his face must have dragged across the ground quite a bit from the blood he saw when he touched it. He must have got caught up in any of Tenten's myriad of weapons. Are you alright? A smirk came across Naruto's face suddenly. I told you I'll last more than 30 minutes. Naruto then noticed how concerned she sounded and gave her a reassuring grin. Sure, I'll be fine. This all will heal up by tomorrow, he said loudly before clutching his jaw. He had opened it for to talk. He looked over and saw a strange guy in green. Ah, he must have been the douche that hit me. He probably fractured his jaw. I'm terribly sorry for kicking you, the green guy said frantically. It's just, it's just, I was not aware that it was a spar. I thought you were trying to harm my teammate, and I just jumped right in and Lee, Tenten cut him off from speaking any further. I get it. I think he gets it. You're sorry. Lee stopped moving and spazzing out. Yes, Tenten is correct. I apologize for harming you. The boy bowed to him before straightening out and giving him a smile. I am Konoha's brood beautiful green beast, Rock Lee. Did his teeth just sparkle? Naruto figured he must have concussed or something and shook it off. Well then, I'm Uzumaki Naruto, the next Hokage. That a boy. What a youthful goal, we shouted to the skies. I myself have high dreams, as does our dear Tenten. I wish you a world famous ninja only known for my taijutsu. And Tenten wishes to be a ninja on par with the strength and reputation wise with Tsunade. By the way, Naruto's gonna say that a boy a lot in this. The writer wrote it like this. I'm not sure why, but oh yeah. By the way, I'm writing one, and it's probably gonna come out in a couple of days. It's really good. So I'm really biased towards the Uchiha clan. They're like my favorite clan, and yeah, it's gonna be called the Abandoned Uchiha. I think that's what I'm going with now, and it's just great. Anyway, let's get back to this. Naruto just nodded once. He heard Tenten's dream. He had no idea who that was. He rubbed his jaw again once Lee got registered with him. Well, you're off to a good start, both of you actually. Naruto looked at the weapons surrounding him. You didn't miss once. Tenten smiled at him before it fell. Wait, I missed you. Naruto shook his head. No, you never threw anything at me. You just destroyed all of my clones. After you cut down a few, I hid in the smoke and hinged into one of the weapons that you threw. That was really scary though. Tenten held out a hand and helped Naruto to his feet. You almost got me. If Lee hadn't kicked you, I would probably be face up looking at the clouds right now wondering what happened. Naruto grinned at her widely. Transformation jutsu is super useful. I was never going to get close enough to do anything to you that the way you were fighting. Rubbing the back of her head sheepishly, she laughed a little. What can I say? I like weapons. She then let out a sigh. But now I have to pick up and reseal all of these. Lee gave her a rigid salute. I will help you retrieve all of your ninja tools, Tenten. With that, he ran off around the entire clearing, picking up the weapon. Naruto was shocked at his feat and then he turned to Tenten. So that's why it looked so easy for him to hit me if he's your teammate. That guy is insane fast. You have no idea, Tenten agreed, but you weren't bad. Yes, I was, Naruto looked down. You said it yourself that you could have killed me right at the start. And even then, the only way I could even get close was that trick. Well, duh, Tenten said it with a roll of her eyes. That's what a shinobi is supposed to do. catch their opponent off guard, and finish them off. It's not like you had any weapons to get near me with anyway. You had to fight like that or you would have never gotten near me. Naruto faced lit up. Actually, I did have a weapon. A weapon more dangerous than any of yours. Tenten looked at him, anticipating his answer. My mind. Tenten blinked at him before bursting into laughter, forcing her to double over and hold herself up on her knees. You're mine? Okay then, whatever you say, she finished with a giggle. Yo! We, Yosh! We deposited all of Tenten's weapons in a neat pile, her two skulls, and saluted her. Tenten, God sent me here to retrieve you so that we could take a mission. You should try hurry and get back to our training ground. Lee turned his attention to Naruto. It was nice to meet you, Naruto-san. I hope I will see you around the village one day. With that, Lee ran out of the clearing away from Naruto and Tenten. Tenten sighed and walked over to her skulls, quickly sealing her tools back inside of them. Whoa, she looked at Naruto oddly, getting him to continue. That was cool. How did you do that? Tenten almost face faulted. That was just my sealing my weapons back. I learned how to do that in the academy, didn't you? Naruto looked away sheepishly and mumbled. What was that? She asked. I said I was the dead last. He shouted before getting silent. I said I was the dead last, he shouted before going silent, expecting her to start making fun of him, laugh at him, or just treat him like everyone else did, ignoring him. Tenten gave him a warm smile. But you graduated, didn't you? Graduating last is better than not graduating at all, right? She pocketed her skulls and patted him on the shoulders. You know, Lee was the dead last of our class last year too. Naruto looked up her eyes with bulging eyes. Yup, he couldn't do any ninjutsu and barely passed, and well, look at him. I would rather have him on my side than any of those others from our year, so don't worry about it. Naruto couldn't believe it. That guy had been the dope too? How did he get so good? How was so he was so fast? I think anyone in my class couldn't even touch him. Clinton put a finger up. He trained very hard. She then turned to leave the field. See you around, Naruto. If you ever want a rematch, you can usually find me here, and days where my team doesn't meet. Naruto watched her leave and waved at her, getting away back. He looked at the field he had just used to more or less get his ass kicked. So that's how strong a Genin is after 1 year of being a ninja. His face formed a small grin. Well, it looks like I'm just going to have to get better than that, won't I? Okay, guys, I'm gonna end it here. I know this was a bit short, but I was busy today writing my own story, and the weather was just depressing. I don't feel like doing any more. I feel tired. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next part.